Hello, Teen Wolf fans. Tonight we're discussing Season 6, Episode 3, Sundowning, with special guest Cody Saintgnue. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I just fade away.
Oh, yeah. Take it off. Little worm in here.
Are we taking our...
We're taking it all off. Come on, Cody. We didn't get to see you this episode. Come on.
I know.
So we're going to do it here. We're going to get Cody to do his shirtless scene right here on AfterBuzz TV.
The Brett Talbot.
Yes.
Shirtless.
We're going to do a formal introduction, guys. So I'm your host for this evening, Kristen Elizabeth Snyder. You can follow me at Cinematic Escape. And you can follow AfterBuzz TV at AfterBuzz TV. And we are discussing Season 6 of Teen Wolf Episode 3, Sundowning. Joining me, AfterBuzz TV host Alana Jordan.
What up? I'm Alana Jordan. You can find me on Twitter at Alana Jordan and on Instagram at That Alana Jordan Girl.
And our special guest plays Brett Talbot on MTV's Teen Wolf. Please welcome Cody Saintgnue.
What up, guys?
Show us a good move, Cody. Come on.
Show us a good...
Oh, snap.
Okay, now you do it.
Oh, look at that.
I love it. Okay, we're gonna have timeouts every once in a while where we're gonna want the dance music back on so Cody can teach us a move.
Oh, I'm down. Let's get it.
We get to have our own Nathan's party right here.
That's right.
But it's
the
gonna be Brett's
after
party. Boom.
Yes.
Forget
And
Nathan's party.
And
Brett's
if you are
party.
in here, you are protected from the Ghost Riders.
That's true. We
And
brought
if-
the sage.
Mountain
And the
Ash dance party.
Yeah, exactly. If you guys at home want to call in, the number to ask Cody a question is 424-253-0504. It's in the lower part of the video, but again, it's 424-253-0504. Last week when Kylan Rambo was in, who plays Mason, unfortunately, there were so many people calling in that you guys broke the internet, aka our phone lines, so it didn't work. But we're going to hopefully... It works tonight. We've made some adjustments, so thank you guys for being patient on that. But you can always go to AfterBuzzTV.com and chat with us. We can see your chats, and the engineer is going to put it up on a screen for us so we can read your questions there as well. If you can't get through, just go to the chat. And let's go ahead and get to the episode.
What an episode. Wow.
Cody, what was your favorite part of this episode?
Oh, man.
Just a scene.
You know, my favorite scene probably out of the whole thing was... I really like Lyndon talking about his past.
Yeah.
I think that was a really cool just close-up, and it was very vulnerable, and it was just a really well-done scene. Also, to add on to that turnaround, time for my medicine.
Yes. Oh, so good.
That was a great scene. We really loved Grandpa
I think that one might
Elias.
be actually my favorite.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Well, I want to talk about what it's like, because we want to talk about Mr. Douglas, the teacher. And for you are such a nice guy, but you play all these badass dudes. Brett is kind of a jerk on the show. He's getting better.
He's getting better. He hasn't made the appearance yet, but what I am allowed to say about season 6 and Brett is that all claws point to him being back.
Yeah, some more Brett.
Yeah, and it's gonna be cool.
I'm
That's all I'll
excited.
say.
I'm excited. But so what I want to know is, like, how do you channel that bad guy? Like, where do you go for that kind of influence in your acting, since you're such a nice guy? I know that's not, like, you personally.
Yeah, no. Here's the thing. Everybody has a dark side. Everybody has a light side. Everybody has a dark side. We all have a very pretty side. We all have a very ugly side. And part of being an actor and any artist is accepting both of those and being very honest with yourself. And so, when you're doing stuff like that, you're thinking of every person you actually really hate. And so, I think it's stuff like that. And also, little imagination too, because clearly, so that's what I do.
No, that's great. And that's, I can see that, but it's so hard for me to be like mean. Like people have to really upset me. So that would be interesting. I don't really know how to reach that dark. There must be like tactics that you practice.
Well, here's also this. You ever have those moments where it's like, man, I really wanted to tell that person off because they're such an asshole. But guess what? In acting, you really get to.
Yes.
You get to be that ugly person, and it's a safe, controlled environment. It's like, got that out of me. I'm gonna go be a better person.
So it's like you get revenge, controlled revenge.
Yeah.
And you use that in your acting. I freaking love that.
Absolutely, it's true.
My. People are saying in the chat, Grandpa Stiles is a jerk. We will get to that. I didn't think he was a jerk. I loved Grandpa Elias. So
I don't know. I feel like
you didn't love
son and the glass working its way out of his shoulder might have some other feelings.
Okay, we just have to talk about him. We can't ignore him. Let's talk about him first. So the whole pack realizes, obviously, that, they're missing something, and then Malia's taking her test and freaking out, and then the word Stiles comes up, and Stilinski says that was actually his father's nickname in the army, and the pack decides that they need to track down Elias, who is Stilinski's father, even though Stilinski is very against it. And we learn, like you said, from the scars, that he was actually an abusive father. And so the pack breaks into the nursing home, and they have this conversation with him where they are just trying to figure out what he remembers. And you guys made sense of this and why, Stiles wasn't really erased from his memory. So can you guys talk about that?
Well, what we kind of hypothesized as we were watching is that because he has dementia and because it's altering the states of memory, his state is already altered. So the ghost writers aren't able to fully erase his memory because he's already...
His mind's already been cemented in a different time era, so there's nothing present for them to shift, I feel.
1975 is the time that he
or
thinks
76
it is.
or something, yeah.
It's not until he sundowns and then Lydia uses the math to get him to focus back.
They lose their faculties after sundowning. I learned so much about it. I didn't know
He's way
anything.
nicer, though, when he has dementia. That's horrible to say, but he's so much nicer than when he, gets back into... And he's like, are the brains getting smaller with the skirts? I love that line.
know.
I had Malia's reaction. I'm like, claws out, buddy.
Yeah.
Looks like... Okay.
Oh.
Hello, caller. What's your name and where are you from? Okay.
Oh.
All right. Call us
dropped
back.
off?
We just dropped... The caller must have dropped off.
Can we also talk about how badass Malia is? Dude, she's just taking no names, no prisoners, no nothing.
She's
Head
taking a lot
smashing
of
people.
pencils.
Yeah, snapping them.
Well, the thing was...
Aw, snap.
Stiles was really her anchor, obviously, and he's the one who taught her to control it. So the fact that he's not there now, she's just, unleashed this season, if you might say.
Hey, look at Kristen coming in with the fun. Fellow Punisher. High five.
You
high
are
five me.
wearing off
Punisher?
on me.
Like,
Yeah, I'm a Punisher.
Okay, so Cray Tay Tay has a question for you, Cody. She wants to know, does Brett get a girlfriend or boyfriend this season?
I can't tell you.
Okay, well, we have a caller on the line. Let's see what they think. Caller, what's your name? Where are you from?
My name is Kalante Poe, and I'm from Washington, D.C.
Awesome. Thanks for calling
Where's he from?
in. He's from
Washington,
Washington.
Oh, cool. What's up? How are you?
Hello?
Yeah, did you have a question
turn
for
your,
Cody?
your speakers down a little bit so we don't hear us?
Cody Saintgnue. What's it like playing a bisexual Buddhist werewolf?
Playing a bisexual Buddhist werewolf. Well, I have to tell you, I haven't really got to dive into that part too much of Brett. So, it's an honor, though, to have such a title because, I think playing LGBT, characters, there's a responsibility there to keep spreading the word of, how that's okay and to just love yourself and to be confident. Like, your heroes are on TV, these characters that you look up to. So, to have that title, it's an honor, but the actual experience of it, all Brett's really got to do is dance in the club with a guy and a girl at the same time. So that's about
Sounds pretty good for me.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Kalante, did you have another question you wanted to ask?
Does Brett get any love interest this season?
That's what the chat... Everybody wants to know.
I don't know. Don't know.
That means he can't answer, so let's hope so. Well, Kalante, thank you so much for calling in. We really appreciate the fan support. Have a great night.
All right, love you guys. Bye.
Love you, bye.
I should
We
Malia
love you
and
too.
Brett until Stiles comes back.
Malia and Brett.
Malia and
that
Brett would be the
interesting.
scariest couple ever.
Oh,
Yeah,
they'd
just
be
walk into the
ruthless.
party and be like, we own this place now.
I could ship that. What about you guys?
Malia and Brett. That'd be
I like
gnarly.
it.
People are saying they're watching our show at work overtime, baby.
Yeah.
That's right.
Good job, Erica Walker. We appreciate it. And CC Freak, we love it.
All about it.
All about it. Okay, so back to Grandpa Elias. Like, his acting was amazing. I was like, I didn't write, like, anything down when we were taking notes because I was so focused on what he was going to do and say next. I just really was into that scene.
His performance, the innocent, unknowing senior citizen, to then just this aggressive, like even the whole body. If you even notice, he was slouched, and then it was like you could feel the army general in him like come back out, and you're just like, wow. And also really big kudos to Jeff on all those turnarounds like that.
Yeah,
That's
man.
really cool. Keeping you on your toes writing. That's awesome.
Having that one line, when he's talking about the army and he's like, the best years of my life, and we're all like, what? And then he changes into the like drill sergeant basically, and you're like, okay, now we get it.
Is
Yeah.
it time for my medicine?
That was perfect.
Like, I'll give you your medicine, old man. You stop talking about my skirts and my brain.
Yeah, there was this line that Mr. Douglas had pointed out that the greater the power, the greater the control. So we kind of slipped into that with Grandpa Elias saying that, those were the best years of his life. But we do get that line when he's yelling, Stilinski comes in, breaks up the pack, tells them to leave, and then we get what they came there for. We get that line where he says, you act like I'm not even here. He says to Stilinski, and he's like, go be with your...
Go back to your
Dead
wife
wife.
and your loser son.
Yes.
Which also mean. God.
Yes, but
Right.
this is also like the seed now is planted in Stilinski. What did he mean? My wife's not dead, and he brings up that dream later when he's telling Scott that we find out that great information that he was going to name his son after Claudia, his wife's father, and she
Which
said,
they do.
which they did.
But then don't give us the name again. We will never know his name.
We're getting
We'll
closer
never know
though.
his first name.
It's gonna happen this
the
season
last
because they keep
episode,
bringing it up.
better.
Yeah.
If I never find out Stiles' first name, I'm just gonna make it up.
This
I'm
is
gonna
what
call
I
him
think.
Rumpelstiltskin.
Little prediction here, early in the show, I know, but little prediction. I'm reading stuff they're writing. It's so funny. I think that whenever Stiles does come back and his father sees him or whoever sees him, they're going to call him by his real name. That's how we're going to figure it out.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Little prediction coming at you. Okay.
But I do love that line. No matter what, it won't matter anyway because we'll just call him Stiles.
Yep. So we're getting closer to everyone remembering him. Thank goodness. I want to talk about Mr. Douglas before we get into the party scene. Now, this was really crazy. We learned a lot this episode about him. We were right. He was not just charming, Elena. Elena thought he was just charming. I was like, he's a bad
gonna
boy.
Be bad. I just wanted him to be charming. Anytime they're like,
always the
look
charmers.
at this attractive man. Then he's like, I'm a jerk. You.
I'm always very weary of these attractive men, and I knew he was bad news. So it's confirmed he's the Nazi werewolf that broke out last season.
he's not.
The fans were correct. She's still in denial. Hello, caller. What's your name and where are you from?
Oh, hi, my name's Jane, and I'm from Georgia.
Oh, Georgia.
Hey, what up,
Dope.
fella, Jordan?
Elena is also from Georgia. Do you have a question for Cody? Thanks so much for calling in.
Okay, do you ship to, okay, I'm so nervous, and I don't even know why.
Aw.
Lydia or
Don't be.
Stiles and Malia?
What about Stiles and Malia?
Who do
Do
you...
you like ship Stiles and Malia or Stydia?
Oh man, I get asked this all the time. I got asked this last time, and I'm gonna keep it to the original. I think true love's got to find its way back. Stydia.
Yeah.
Oh,
Team
see,
Stydia.
yes.
Yup.
Holding it
Stydia,
down.
and then ship Brett and Malia. It's perfect. That's out forever.
How do you feel about Brett and Malia? Do you like that combination?
Yes. I love it.
I was waiting for the no.
The fans have confirmed it. Well, thank you so much for calling in. We really appreciate your support.
Oh, no problem. Love you guys.
Love you too. Have a great night.
Have a good one, sweetie.
You too.
Aw, love fest. I love
Your
it.
fans are the sweetest people in the world.
No,
I'm not even kidding you.
not mine. It's Teen Wolf. They graciously let me come into that. It's they are the best, and anyone that has been following me through that, I love you guys.
Aww. Well, congrats to you, and we love watching you. So thanks.
Aw, thanks.
It's not just them; it's you and your performances. So we really
you.
appreciate it, and thank you for all coming on our show and entertaining again.
Thank everybody for calling in.
I love that AfterBuzz family.
But more about Mr. Douglas.
Mr. Douglas. So, okay, yes, he's confirmed the Nazi werewolf. And then we find out from JR and Melissa that somebody's going around biting the necks of people to take out the pineal gland. And
Was it the skull or the neck?
It's
They're
the back
biting
of the
the
skull so that they can get to the pineal gland, which is right in the center of your brain. It's in between the two hemispheres.
yeah,
And
Dr. Saintgnue, can you explain this to us?
yeah.
Well, no, a little bit actually. Yeah, the pineal gland. From what a little bit of research, all three of us did. I'm not a scientist. We totally looked this up. Is the pineal gland is all about your youth and beauty and someone's. What's this?
It's as we age, our pineal glands calcify. It's what's in charge of keeping your circadian rhythm and making sure you sleep right.
Yeah, that.
Which
Making
makes sense because the Nazi werewolf is so old. I mean, he was kept alive
Yeah.
by the dread doctors in those tanks, so he's been alive forever. So it makes sense that he's eating these pineal glands to
It's
stay
called
young.
the third eye because it's supposed to be what contains your soul.
Yeah, he's taking everyone's essences. He's gonna be like schizophrenic after all that. I think he's not gonna know who he is.
I mean, something's going on, and we also
Something's going
saw that he's using the helium, of course, for
Yes.
his cough. So just a lot
And his
of
voice doesn't change, which upsets me. I really just wouldn't it be awesome if he's like, I'm very scary and I'm coming to get you guys? Like, it'd be
That'd be
terrifying and
hilarious.
amazing at the same
I'd love to hear
time.
his growl, like the howl with helium.
Yeah. But it's the alpha growl. We know he's an alpha because he's got the red eyes. But he's the
Yeah.
alpha that you find by the high-pitched howl.
people want to know, was Douglas created by the dread doctors? I don't think so. I think he was preserved in those tanks over time. And they were
I
like,
don't think he was created. I think
No.
he was kept as an experiment.
yeah, I think so. And no, he's a little Frankenstein on the loose. But we don't have that much time left, so I want to get to this missing people party. So Gwen's sister is gone. The only one who believes there is Hayden, and the pack decides that they need to throw a party to keep Gwen safe because Gwen doesn't even believe that these Ghost Riders exist. How much did you guys love the freaking party, though?
The party was amazing. I did not love how skeptical Gwen was. Like, I'm like, if your sister's missing, this is the only person
Wouldn't you
who
believe
cares.
any theory? Yeah. What do
I
you think,
kind
Cody?
of completely disagree.
Really?
Like I knew that was like something we were gonna have different opinions on, because what I think is really cool, what's settling in to Beacon Hills is the reality of it. The real reality of someone, like, yes, there is some weird stuff going on, but the reality of someone trying to tell you that there's werewolves or there's ghost riders kidnapping you and all this, like, to any normal human high schooler, any sane person, they're gonna look at you like you're crazy. And so I like, for me at least, I liked a little bit of the reality in that. It brought it back to a real, I feel what it could have been more organic of a altercation between them.
I agree with that because she was playing defense and the victim being like, oh, you guys are just making fun of me now. It's just a joke to you. So I can understand that. Thanks for breaking it down for us, Cody. Always helping me see the other perspectives, calming me down. So I want to know, and I need you guys, since you're scientists, to explain this. So Ghost Rider comes and the pack starts battling him. And the entire party sees him once Corey touches him.
Because now he's changed his state of existence, just like light particles, the waves. Once it's been touched, it's been altered, like the card from last episode.
So
as
lights
soon
are
as-
waves until it's
Yeah.
perceived, and then it's light.
Well, I think it's
What-
just using the light as like a metaphor, is like the different planes is, how it can be, like the whole Schrodinger's cat thing, is that it's depending on how it's measured, how it's perceived, alters its existence.
Dr.
So-
Saintgnue, what do you think about this?
I have a more supernatural approach to it.
Okay.
No, something that a possibility could be is same as light and dark, but how about visible and invisible? The fact that something that the matter is not really there, that he's in his form, touches that and reversed it. So it could be.
I like that too.
Could be
I like
something like that.
I like what you
I
guys
feel like
are doing
it's
here.
different planes, like different dimension, almost
Yeah.
like in the same like existence, but like
Yeah.
because Corey, I don't think he disappears. I think he goes to a whole separate plane of existence, and that's the same one that the Ghost Riders are in. So he's making that plane, he's bringing it into this plane of existence. So instead of just being invisible, he can actually alter reality.
I just love how much science they're teaching us this season on Teen Wolf, because we went through the Schrodinger's cat and all that and the states of existence changing, and now we're seeing that happen with the Ghost Rider, which was so cool. And then
And
of
it
course
mirrors even in the personalities. Like we see Corey so apprehensive and everything, and now he's starting to step up his game a little bit more and kind of come more into his power.
yeah,
I
and
like it.
I was so happy that the pack handled this situation, because Liam even said to Scott, "What am I going to do?" And he's like, "You're going to handle it."
Yeah, but I have to say, I felt like Scott was a little cold. It wasn't. I get a lot of stuff's going on, but I wish he would have been a little bit more nurturing and told him like, "You got this," not like, "Figure it out." I would have been like,
I got you with that.
That was also very scientific.
Well, for some reason, and you guys have to explain this to me too, since you are the scientists in house tonight, in-house scientists.
I
Over
failed
on this
science.
side. I mean, all scientists do, right? Because you were just doing your own experiments.
It was trial and error. I tried letter A and B and C. It was actually D, and so I failed on my test.
There you go.
That's really funny. So my question for you guys
I love you,
is,
Mrs. Frame.
whenever the Hellhound, Parrish, he comes in, why does his presence affect the Ghost Rider, and the Ghost Rider finally vanishes? It's definitely not those bullets. It's definitely not seeing another gun pointed at him. So what is it about the Hellhound?
Having a harbinger of death, just
Stare you in the face. I think the ghost. Well, sorry, I totally just cut you off.
no. Go ahead. I
Well,
want to know what you
the
think.
ghost, a ghost is like right in that in between like life and death, and he is the harbinger of death. So he is like the final step. So it's almost he's like shutting the door on him, or I don't know. He's gonna get dragged somewhere. I don't know.
I almost wonder if it's like because Scott was saying, okay, well, if everybody at the party saw them now, everybody's going to be taken. If that was almost the Ghost Rider, like the harbinger of death, is like, I'm going to stop you. And he's just like, I'm not even going to fight you. Joke's on you, bro. I'm taking everybody at this party. Peace, Gwen.
I like that. I think you're right about that also, but it's like
Yeah.
he
He
didn't.
was going to say
he
it
didn't-
just like that, which is why they had to cover his mouth, because it's that sass talk.
Exactly. He sounds a lot like Elena Jordan when he talks, the Ghost Rider. But getting back to it, when is the original cast going to graduate 6A or B? I believe that's 6B. Cody, can you confirm?
No. I know nothing.
He's saying no.
I know as in I know nothing, not no or yes. It's I know nothing.
He can't give you guys spoilers, but I did see Cray Tay Tay. Her birthday's December 19th, and she wanted to know if you'd wish her a happy birthday.
What's her name?
Cray Tay Tay.
Cray Cray Tay Tay. I hope you have a very happy birthday, and I hope that you get double the presents, even though you probably don't. But
For Christmas.
Yeah, right.
But what you did get is a happy birthday from Cody Saintgnue. So you did just get double
Yeah.
gifts. Like you're welcome.
I suggest having your party in June.
So you can be Geminis like us.
Well, you can't be a Gemini. You weren't born by
But you can have your party with us.
What if she's like, I'm a Gemini?
All of our screenshot people make a GIF of him wishing her happy birthday, and then it's a gift.
Oh. Now we've got a lot of birthdays. We have Jane Shaw turning 16 in January.
Oh, so many.
Aw, happy birthday.
All right. Well, you guys, I want to know, before we get into an interview with Cody, what do you guys think is going to happen next week? Can we roll predictions?
Do you want to know Stilinski? What we think of him?
And now,
Yes.
your AfterBuzz
Bad one.
TV
Didn't work.
I didn't know. She's the queen of puns, but I don't always get them. So the chat was saying that they think that Gwen and Mason are next to disappear. What do you guys think?
I think it's the whole party.
I think so too.
You guys think that?
I think everybody at the party.
But it looks like Scott has a plan. It looks like he shuts down the school and keeps everybody in the school because he's like, we're not going to let everybody disappear. And it looks like Parrish is there, the Hellhound, to try to help things. But you guys don't think so. You think everyone's going to be gone.
I think it's going to be like for me, my prediction, and I don't know, I really don't know, is it's going to be like a giant hostage situation. They're all going to be in a classroom, those select group of kids, and, it's going to be the pack holding it down, trying to keep them away. That's what I think.
what if basically everyone gets taken and it's like the town disappears? It's like its whole like own road.
Ghost Riders Town?
And then they have to save all of Beacon Hills. Because at some point, if you take the whole high school, you're going to notice, like, I went to school with more than 3 people.
There's no one in this town. I mean, tourists would notice, right? This is for sure a ghost town. I mean, maybe that's why there are
very few tourists come to Beacon Hills. They always get murdered immediately upon arrival.
That's true. I'm pretty sure I'm from a ghost town, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, because there's not a lot of people there, so this makes sense. I think I'm from Beacon Hills.
That's awesome.
I love it.
There's nobody there. But okay, what do you guys think is going to happen with Mr. Douglas? Like, what is his end game here? Is he going to be working at all with the Ghost Riders? Like, are those stories going to collide? What's happening here?
Oh, man. Mr. Douglas, I mean...
He's just going to keep stealing those pineal glands or what?
I have no idea. I honestly, there's a weird part of me that thinks, like, the Dread Doctors are going to come back, and I don't know, the, like, ghosts. I don't know. I don't know.
How cool would it be if in Part B, they just integrate all of the things that have happened, and they all, like, a whole big, like, mass exodus, and they all come to Beacon Hills.
All the monsters.
And they have to just, like, a whole, like, boom, 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 take them all out.
I hope not. You, like, won an apocalypse, a monster apocalypse.
I think that would be awesome.
A mon-apocalypse.
That'd be the best way to shut it down. And then they, like,
Apocalypse.
close the whole vortex, and they're like, Beacon Hills, safe forever.
You're giving the Teen Wolf ending I just wanted next week. I'm just kidding. People in the chat saying they want Derek back. You guys, I really don't think that's gonna happen. He's on
Supergirl.
He's on Supergirl.
He's busy being Superman.
You can go there and check him out. They said zombie werewolf Mr. Douglas. I don't know if he's so much of a zombie, but talking about we're not talking about Corey's braveness. What do you guys think about Corey being brave and finally, you know, jumping in the pack? He was scared for so long. You know what I liked, bringing that up, one more thing, is the courage that his boyfriend Mason gives him. I mean, how much courage do you guys get when you're in a relationship and you have that other person?
They're one of my favorite
giving
couples.
You that
just
courage.
Because he's always like helping Corey out and building up his confidence, and Corey doesn't realize how much he like helps Mason too. They're so cute. I love them.
I totally agree, and I think what's really cool is even Mason's character on a whole is really coming into his own as being the glue of the group and being the peacemaker for everyone and bringing a calmness, because he helps Liam, he helps everyone. And so I like the direction of his character. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, and I love how his boyfriend Corey has sort of been the key to the season. The fact that he can see the Ghost Riders and nobody else can unless they're being taken.
Well, that's like their whole thing about states of existence and how it changes depending on how it's perceived. If he perceives himself as somebody who can only turn invisible, like they've said in other, like, that's all he can do, and he kind of feels like he's not helping. Now that he's starting to gain his confidence,
relationship courage.
Yeah, it's like a whole thing where it's like it changes how he perceives himself, changes how he is. It makes him, if he perceives himself as able to help, then he actually is.
Yeah, he could totally branch off, almost like how Lydia is, like, you know, evolved into so many other powers because of her confidence and, you know, everything she's gone through.
One more question for you guys before we get into an exclusive interview with Cody is Mark Murphy wants to know, can you guys talk about how Claudia is alive but Allison is still dead even though Stiles caused both their deaths? Did Stiles really cause Allison's death? I don't
feel
think
like
so.
Allison's
That
death was more.
That was her being like a hero.
Yeah, I think that the implication is that Stiles feeling guilty for his mom's death. We now know like that is something that is a reality for him. But as Allison was more of a product of the situation. It was less like him specifically and more everything that was happening.
But that's a good question because I am wondering, are they going to bring back more people?
I want to know, if Stiles comes back, does that mean Claudia disappears?
Yeah, that's going to be really weird. And
is it a trade-off for poor Stilinski? Like, Noah Stilinski has to be like, okay, bye.
And she died from dementia, and that's what Grandpa Elias has?
Yeah. But
I don't even know how do you die from dementia? Do you...
I've never heard of that.
No.
Unless you've slipped into such another reality that you did something to harm yourself. That's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, and we had people commenting on the YouTube, Daldy, Piper Charms, Omar. Thank you guys all for commenting. Omar says, are people forgetting the rooftop moment at the hospital where Stiles got to see the memory about his mother telling Sheriff Stilinski that Stiles did this to her, blaming her illness on him? So We did, kind of, but now you've reminded us. Thank you. But yeah, we're not quite sure. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to us. Maybe you guys can look into this about why Claudia is back, because it really wasn't anything that Stiles did.
Explain how the other timelines haven't been altered.
Yeah, I agree with that. Well, now we want to get into an exclusive interview with Cody.
AfterBuzz TV exclusive.
Yes. So I know we've asked you some of these questions before, but I feel like our fan base changes a lot.
Yeah.
So we want to just see, what were like your early influences, and if you can remind them of sort of your background and what made you want to act.
Yeah, my early influences. Basically, a lot of you know, but for those of you that don't know, I was adopted. I was adopted at the age of 12. I was taken away at 9, and so I came from a family of abuse and stuff like that, and I was a street kid, so I'm really from the streets, and so I got into it first modeling to impress a girl, but yeah, because she would never look my way. She so I thought if I became an Abercrombie model, she'd like me.
Stop telling the story of how we met.
Did she?
You know what? By the time I started to get into everything, I put my thoughts and feelings into my work, I forgot about the girl. That didn't ever really like me. But no, so the influences definitely, like, I absolutely carry that stuff with me. Acting and entertainment and art in general, whether it's guitar or anything, acting, producing, I absolutely draw from that. And, so those are absolutely my influences. And, of course, like, everyday people I meet. Every day something new inspires me. So just being open to it.
No, you have an awesome backstory, and I can see why you're so motivated and inspired, and thank you for doing what you do.
Yeah.
You definitely channeled that in a positive way that I feel like a lot of people from home can relate to. So it's good to hear those stories empowering people.
Yeah, and I highly encourage you to find what is your, like almost like mental medicine. And I'm not talking pills or medication by any means.
Is it time for my medicine?
Is it time? I like get into guitar, find something that you can kind of just get lost in. Whether it's acting or something, and more people need art in their life.
What are some of your favorite hobbies besides, working and acting, just creative things? I know you mentioned guitar, but...
Yeah, I picked up the guitar again, and I started playing it. I'm learning the song Fast Car by Tracy Chapman.
And next time you come on, you're going to play for us?
Yes!
Oh my god, that'd be a cool goal. Maybe
That's our
will.
intro music for the next time you're here.
Oh
you play
my
our
god,
intro.
but every guitar player's be like, that sucks, it's such an easy song.
No, but it would be inspiring to everybody who knows that you're going to learn it for our next show.
You know what? I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do it.
Yes!
I will do it.
Yes!
I'm gonna do it.
Sweet, I'm excited. We got you. People want to know who's your favorite character on the show?
My favorite character on the show. I would have to say probably. You know who I really liked was Gideon Emery, who played the
We've
blind.
had him in.
And I got to actually get to know him a lot better on in where was it? I think it was London. We had a Comic-Con or an appearance thing together, and he's such a cool guy, and he's just so talented. Yeah. I mean, just his style. There's really talented people, and then there's their style, and I really like his. It's
Not
cool.
to be confused with Stiles, who's still missing.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, but for those of you who don't know, Gideon Emery, he played the blind werewolf, and he had been on our show a few times. Yeah, he's a really awesome guy.
And then later faked blind. So good.
Yeah, of course you like the villains.
I do. I know. I've always liked the villains, actually. I've always thought that they were cool. Like, I was like, man, they're just dark and mysterious. And,
Who's your favorite Disney villain?
Ooh.
My favorite.
Or if you could play a Disney villain.
In real life.
Or any villain.
Any villain?
Who do you want to play? We're turning this question into like multiple questions.
I don't know too many Disney villains. I don't even know if she's a villain, but like some character I think she's just so badass is Maleficent.
Yeah.
I saw that and she was just so dope. She could do anything. But as
I
far
think
as
Angelina Jolie already took that one from you. I'm sorry.
I know. Well, you know what? Hey, you never know. I'm sure some red lipstick.
Maleficent too, and it's Cody.
Doesn't she need a husband or something like Maleficent too? Like the rise of the King
Magnificent.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. They're reminding us on the chat, Deucalion was Gideon Emery's
Deucalion,
character.
yeah.
Yeah,
You guys
Deucalion.
are so awesome. Thank you for doing that. I want to know, if you weren't acting, was there any other profession? I know you get to do all the professions when you're acting, but like, was there something when you were younger that you were kind of like, for a second, oh, I want to be a firefighter, or I want to be a mad scientist?
You know what's funny is when I was 7, maybe 8, I wanted to be a neurosurgeon.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, I was very fascinated by all the dollar signs that came with it.
You're gonna take all. You're gonna take all
comes
the
out.
pineal glands out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I get Mr. Douglas. I might be helping him.
So they say that it's the unconscious mind is an actor and a writer's best friend.
Yeah.
What do you make of that?
You
Or what
know-
does it mean to you?
What that means to me is just like the best impression is when you don't try at all, so is acting. You're just being.
that.
We're just connecting, we're just like locking eyes, and it's just, you know, we're just letting it happen. We're not pushing nothing. And so the only way you can do that is when you're unconsciously, you know, when it's organic. So, you know, you have to learn your lines and know it so well that it doesn't matter what goes through your mind or what, like you're just there. And you're just connecting.
Is that a hard process?
Absolutely.
Like, you just keep playing out. I mean, for me, it's like I'd be in my head the whole time. Acting is not in my future.
Well, you know, it's really hard. It's interesting. It's like, it's hard to just listen in general as human beings because we have so much going on. Also, we're also a little bit narcissistic, so we're
Love
also always
that.
thinking of other things other than the person that we're communicating with. So really, like, I meditate all the time. Like, I literally, like, focus on just focusing so that way I can really, when I'm doing a scene, I'm really listening to you and I can hear you and I'm with you.
Taking notes on what
So-
you're saying.
Yeah, I love that. Listen to hear, not to respond.
There's a reason they say, you know, God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. You need to listen twice as much.
My grandma used to say that.
Really?
I love that.
You guys teaching me so much tonight.
You did say to play a scientist, so I'm kind of a method actor.
I love
We
it.
only had one scene in the library, and no one was studying, so we have to hold down the library for it.
Exactly. Cody, for the fans watching at home who, you know, want to be sitting here in your spot, what's some advice that you can give them, for anybody really that wants to get into the industry?
Man, this is what I always say. If you can be happier doing anything else, go do it. Seriously, I'm so serious because the amount of unfairness and politics and luck that it requires to do this and to be even being, you know, to do anything like this, it's unmatched. You know, sometimes the hardest working people never make it, and so it's but if I can't persuade you that way, then that means you're really probably an artist, and that means you're probably not going to do anything else. So what I will tell you for those people is that, you know, you need to find a really good teacher, find a mentor that you can be vulnerable with that knows where you need to go and how you need to get there, and you stick with them. And you know, I have one. His name's Taylor Brooks, and he does really well by me. You need someone older, and you need not be an asshole younger person just thinking you know it all.
Yeah.
Learn from your elders because there's a lot of stuff that they have to give you, and in this business, you are required to be an adult no matter what age you are. So get a mentor that is really good, stick by them, and learn every day. That's the best thing.
I love that you say that because a lot of people, they don't realize that you have to have a teacher for acting. So many people are constantly like tweeting at us, hey, how do we, you know, become an actor? How do I get an audition? It doesn't work like that. It's a school, just like any other profession. You have to study it for years. So that's great advice that you give.
No, totally. It's you know, that's what I would say.
Awesome. Well, Cody, thanks so much for being here. It's always so much fun having you in studio. Looking forward to that song you're going to learn for us. But for now, where can the fans keep up with you?
Yeah, you guys can stalk me, harass me. Just kidding, don't do that. But you can tweet me anything at Cody Saintgnue, which is all my social medias at CODYSAINTNEW.
Elena, where can we keep up with you?
You can find me on Twitter at Alana Jordan, ALANA JORDAN, and on Instagram at That Alana Jordan Girl.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in once again. Same time, same place next
And where
week.
do we find you, Kristen?
Well, you can, if you want to take the time, you can go on to Cinematic Escape.
Escape.
Thank you, guys. And we will see you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Bye. See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.